Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're tuned into the Vitamin D podcast, and I'm your host, Dawn Dai. Here to get you excited about your life so that you can live life on purpose and for a purpose. It feels good to feel good, right? Now, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Vitamin D is a multivitamin for your mind, your body, and your soul. And on this podcast, I have inspirational conversations with everyday people and celebrities just about life, love, relationships, dreams, goals, just shedding light on what it is and what it ain't. Now, we get real because when we talk about shedding the light, that's on the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Because if you want to be better and you want to do better, you got to see better. And you only can see better by actually stepping in the light and doing you. Now, one thing that I always say on the Vitamin D podcast is how you are your greatest asset, because this is all about putting a deposit in your life bank account. Because if you look at it, you got deposits and you got things that are liabilities. It's about a balance. And that's what this is. So thank you for joining my dream. Thank you for joining me on this journey. But more importantly, thank you for depositing your life bank account. Now, I'm excited. Today, like coming up right now, I am going to share a conversation with you with a gentleman named Tray Chaney. He stars in the Bounce TV hit series, Saints and Sinners. It airs Sundays nights, 9/8 Central. Now, the show is phenomenal. It's so much drama. It's riveting. And in this conversation, I am breaking down his character, Kendrick Murphy. It's a character that you love to hate. A character that you can understand that in life has trials and tribulations, but trying to start with something new. Isn't that something with life? How you can sometimes allow your past to dictate where you are. But years ago when I lived in New York, I was talking to this gentleman named Raphael Gordon, and he shared a quote with me. He said, "Your location is not your destination." Let me say it again. Your location is not your destination. Where you are right now doesn't dictate where you're going. But the key is you have to move. And that's the entire thing this conversation about is with Tray, about the movement. One thing that he spotlights that I just want to highlight in this entire episode is that he said, the blessing is in a journey. Can you catch it? The blessing is in the process of keep moving forward. And that's what this conversation is about. When it's talking about facing your fears, when it's talking about taking the jump, when it's talking about rewriting your future. Yeah. We're digging deep and it feels good. So I want to make sure that you understand the complexities of who you are. So let me stop yapping and let's get straight to it. All right? So get excited because I am too. So without further ado, it's time for your dose of vitamin D.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.
Hello.
Dawn.
Hello, Mr. Tray.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good, but the question is, I'm looking at you. You look fine, but are you okay? I saw on your social media you got in an accident.
Yeah, it was crazy, Dawn. I was on my way to an audition Tuesday, and I'm going through a green light, and out of nowhere, a car runs a red light, and he was a drunk driver. So the impact of the car, hit my car. I did a 360 in a very, very busy intersection of Atlanta. And, I wasn't panicking. I just was like, okay, God, if this is how this is going to go, then okay. But at the same time, I'm fine. I am on bed rest. After I do this, I get back in the bed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, my body been aching, but at the same time, I'm just.
Oh, really? Did you go to the doctor?
Oh yeah, I'm in therapy. Yeah, the car is replaceable, but I'm just glad that, God spared my life. And, my insurance, I got great insurance. My people are taking care of everything. I'll probably have a brand new car in a couple of days. I'm not really, God is good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, if this was, everything is going so great right now. It's almost like that yin yang effect, and it's like when it's light, prepare for the darkness, but get through it at the same time. So I'm fine. You know what I'm saying?
What you trying to do today? What are you trying to do today? What do we listen? Cause I got chills all over my body.
That's love. Yeah.
So I guess let me just tell you, because we're walking in the same vein right now. This is what vitamin D is all about.
Wow.
Vitamin D is all about shedding light, and the light is going to cut on the good and the bad.
That's a fact.
And it's designed so that you can live life on purpose and for a purpose, so that you can get excited about your life.
That's what's up.
Welcome, Mr. Tray.
And I did the research on what vitamin D stands for with Dawn Dai. And I said, you know what? I can't wait to talk to this sister. You know what I'm saying? So we can really
come on,
King, on here. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to have you on, Mr. Tray Chaney. We're going to be talking about your show, Saints and Sinners. It's on Bounce TV.
Yeah, amazing.
The episode just premiered last night. There's a lot we need to talk about, but first, tell me about you. Now, you from the DMV. Now, I'm from Detroit, but I did go to Howard, so I was over there in a little cluster moment.
Thank you.
But tell me about who you are. Hey.
Well, yeah, I'm Tray Chaney. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Forestville, Maryland, representing Washington, D.C. Started in this business at a very early age, 8 years old, as a hip hop artist, as a dancer. Being affiliated with OGs like Big Daddy Kane, Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Like some of those guys that I still connected with, D-Nice. And I want to say that continued. The hip hop, dancing and rapping continued all over DMV and in different cities. And then I want to say, at 17, a lady by the name of Linda Townsend, who's a talent agent out DC, she was like, yo, I could tell that you're not stage fright, because you're getting up on stage, you're performing. You should think about becoming an actor. And my thing was, I always wanted to make the transition from hip hop artist to actor anyway. So I said, I was already kind of like preparing. I was, walking in that purpose. I was fulfilling my dreams on stage, which I knew would eventually turn into acting. So I told her that was something that I definitely wanted to do. I was interested in it. And I got my headshots done. I got resumes. I started, remembering monologues, because as a writer, I always look at scripts like songs because it has to flow. So I'm like, yo, this is what I'm going to do. Anything that you send me on, whatever I need, I can remember it like that. And she said, the first audition that I'm going to submit you for is The Wire. She said, The Wire is an HBO pilot. For anybody out there that's listening that don't understand what a pilot is, it's not necessarily picked up yet, but it's on the verge of being picked up. You know what I'm saying? So I remember going in. That was my first audition, first job I ever booked as an actor. I went in there, Pat Morant Associates. I read for the character Weebay, got a call back. David Simon, Nina Noble, Robert Cosbury, rest in peace to him, who actually created my character, Poot. I go in, I read the monologue. 3 weeks later, they were saying, you didn't get casted for Weebay, but we casted you for this character named Malik Pukar. So The Wire premiered in 2002. That was the first time I had ever, the whole celebrity lifestyle, getting paid to show up at events. It was so fresh and new to me.
Wire was huge.
Yeah. So with The Wire, I lasted on the show for all 5 seasons, 2002 to 2008. And, from there, that was when I said, you know what, I'm already taking this serious. Then I took, the Tasha Smith acting workshop, the TESOL class. And I really, and it's funny because some of the students in there, they were like, what are you doing in here? Like, you're on The Wire. And I'm like, in order to be the best,
Come on.
I never could stop training. I can't stop training. So I want to train as much as possible because, like I said, in order to be the best, you got to study, you got to work hard, you got to be dedicated, and you got to have consistency. So, after The Wire, then Streets with Meek Mill, that premiered on BET. This was at the beginning of Meek's career when, before he became the superstar that he is now. Did that with Jamal Hill, then Jamesy Boy with James Woods, Ving Rhames, Mary Louise Parker. And then, just getting into the creative side of what I wanted to do as a director and as a producer, started putting out my own content. During the time what people would consider these shows and these movies that I was on mainstream, it was a time where they wasn't coming quick. So I said, you know what? I'm going to create my own. I'm going to get out in the streets of Washington, D.C. I'm going to shoot my own films. I'm going to sell them off the trunk of my car. That buzz created the call from George Pierre, who casted me for Saints and Sinners in 2015. So it was just,
Right.
with me, it was always about being attached to the process, because a lot of people don't understand the blessing is in the journey. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like my barber. Do you know Louis T. Powell?
The name sound familiar.
He's a barber. He's from the DMV. He, and not like everybody's gonna know everybody, but he has his family. He come from a line of barbers. But what he says, he always says, the journey is the experience, and the experience is the journey.
Exactly, because that's what it is. A lot of actors and a lot of artists sometimes they get so caught up on the outcome. And we have to eliminate the outcome and just do the work. Because I don't care how long it takes, as much as you do the work, the reward will eventually come. And it comes in different forms. It comes in different ways. For me as an actor, when I read for almost every show that you might see on television, then if I don't get it, I'm not discouraged, because something else greater comes.
Come on. And it's so interesting. You're talking about the first project with The Wire, and it's just how you can come into one door, but God can lead you through the back door. And it just even reminds me of when I applied to go to Howard. I did not even get accepted. Wow. But see, it's that go-getter attitude that, picked you up to say, let me produce and do my own project. I went ahead and I wrote the school in because I'm a great student. Whatever the testing didn't happen. Yeah. But it's that go-to attitude that you talk about with your dream. Because I guess if you had a mindset that you're going to already arrive, then you don't have to keep going. Hence, we don't arrive until we die, right?
Wow.
And then it just echoes the whole sentiments of Michelle Obama. We're consistently becoming. And that's why every moment of every day is the gift, because that's why we have to be so present.
Wow.
It's not ever presented.
The energy is trading off through this interview.
Well, thank you for receiving me.
I don't even look at this as an interview. You know what I'm saying? We just chopping it up as king and queen, brother and sister. You know what I'm saying?
Hello. Reign supreme. Yeah, you came and I was like, but it's so interesting because sometimes it is that way when you got to go to the back door, because sometimes you got to see something that maybe everybody else can't see, or that moment that you said, let me produce, you have to get this whole view. Yeah. So that you can actually see encompass with the vision that you have for your life.
I had to pick up the experience because, a lot of times it's a lot of people around us in our circles and even people outside of our circles who might not see, like you said, what we see. But we have to prove them wrong. We have to jump out there. Even if we fall on our face, it's not necessarily falling on your face. Every experience is a lesson. You didn't fail. You just learned a lesson. And now you know what to do going forward and moving forward. So for me, it's more like I said, getting attached to the process and never getting emotionally attached to the end result. Right. This business is full of emotions. People get mad over any little thing. If you don't call an industry person back, they might feel some type of way. You don't know what another person is going through in their life. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's like today, me being on here, I'm still upbeat. Even though with the car accident, with everything that went on, it was a reason why it happened, because something else greater is getting ready to happen. And I truly believe that. Even being on here with you, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing to connect with somebody who I feel like I've known for years. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we trade energy and we talking and we, chopping it up. Anybody that's watching, they feeling that. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't doing nothing but inspiring and motivate. Because,
actually, that's what we're designed to do. Just be a light and edify each other. If you think about it, if I edify, you edify me, we can all be dope.
Wow.
But here's the thing. You got to realize that you got to uncover some things that's the light. And it coincides with what you were saying when you first came up in this journey. You said, hey, sometimes it is the yin and yang. It's the understanding that you got to be deserted in order to get to the dessert.
Exactly.
You got to know how sweet it is when you get there.
Exactly.
So after watching the season premiere, I don't know why this word is on my spirit. I want to say the dichotomy. I want to just use it.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's going to... The dichotomy of the situation.
Right.
The thing that's so interesting and what I love about your character, Saints and Sinners, this is season 5.
Yeah.
And your character, oh my God, Kendrick.
Yeah.
Kendrick, I feel Kendrick. And Kendrick, I feel... Well, let me back up.
Okay.
You are such a man who walks in authority of self.
Yeah.
And just checking out some of your pictures and videos on social media and just following you, understanding the importance of family.
Oh, man.
There's some things that I can reflect in your life that I see in your character. So I wanted you to tell us a little bit about Kendrick.
Well, Kendrick is basically Kendrick is broken. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a broken guy, broken character that wants to build and have a relationship with his long lost family that did not want to have nothing to do with him. As you can see from season 1 all the way up to now, which is, people are going to see a lot in season 5 that eases up a little bit. But at the same time, this man wants to have a relationship, like I said, with his family. And every time you think something is going right in Kendrick's life, it just takes a turn for the worse. But at the same time, it's the lesson and the experience that Kendrick learns, which still makes him a man to just keep going. Now, for me, I really got to shout out Nigel Campbell, the showrunner and the writer. And
shout
also,
out to Nigel.
Yeah,
we see you, brother.
And Courtney Miller, because these guys, Courtney's the director and the writer, and they capture elements of who Tray Chaney really is as far as family goes. Because, of course, Patrice Fisher, who plays Stacia Cunningham, she plays my love interest on the show, and we got a baby, right?
We all got a baby.
Yeah, but at the same time, she's pregnant. I'm thinking, what I'm saying? This is my child. As you can see with the movie, you're seeing some of the stuff that was revealed. But my real life, Tray Chaney, I've been married going on 17 years to my wife.
Come on.
2 amazing kids, my son Malachi, my daughter Martina, and my granddaughter, who's the new addition to the family, Morocco.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So with that, it sort of helped me to understand Kendrick a little more in this season of, his development and him wanting to become a father and his happiness for his lady. And just, I told him, I said, this 5th season is some of my best work because y'all actually wrote who I am. And I was able to put that in Kendrick despite all of the craziness that you're still going to see with this character. So, I'm honored. It's something about the term season 5 because The Wire did.
But hold on, before you reach it, don't be trying to skip over Kendrick like that. Hold up.
Yeah.
So the part that I feel that, at least for me, that resonated really well, what I receive is that Kendrick is this loving guy at the core. And it was something that, I was talking to Jasmine about, right. Christy.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of a song, a saint is nothing but a sinner who fell down and got up.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And I can see it now as I'm looking at all the characters, because nobody is necessarily evil per se.
Right.
But as Jasmine liked to put it, we are all here to be a light, to edify God's light. So we're just encased in this and understanding that these things transmit through us in different ways. And it's like, I can see this with this brother who is trying to do right.
Exactly.
God, dog, but he failed. What's going on?
It's the cards that he was dealt, and sometimes in life, well, a lot of times in life, I'm not going to say sometimes, because we all are dealt certain cards on a daily basis that we have to, like you said in the beginning, understand it. We have to be able to feel every single emotion that comes with it. We have to be able to accept it and digest it and then figure out how we can move on. So with Kendrick, always thinking, that he's on this right track and something just comes up and just hits him. Kendrick has been buried alive, by his own grandmother. He's been stabbed. He's been shot, So going through all of these emotions to see what we're actually going to see this season is going to be, I want to say, the turning point. Because Nigel and Courtney had me doing things on this season that I've never done on screen, and I'm like,
what?
Oh no, they challenged me this season. Like I got challenged, but at the same time, I stepped up to the plate and I stepped up to the challenge. And
come on, King.
I think we talked about earlier when I said, in order to be the best and give it my all, this is what you're going to see with Kendrick Murphy this season. I'm giving it my all. You know what I'm saying? So, and that goes along with the different characters that I'm playing in scenes with. Me and Jasmine Burke, Christy, plays my sister. So the substitution for that is how much I really love my sister, Candace Chaney, and how much I really love Jasmine Burke off screen. And Clifton Powell playing my dad. How much I
Rex. You know what, Rex? Get out of my face.
Hey, yo. You know, and Vanessa Bell Calloway,
come on.
She's a legend.
She trying to be right.
She trying to be right.
And then her mother gonna throw her with the left hook like that.
Oh my God.
The secrets. Why black families got so many secrets?
You know what? That's a real strong part of black families. Like you said, we do got some secrets, but at the same time, us coming together as black families and really understanding each other. It just keeps boiling down to how we understand things, how we handle things, and how we move forward with things.
But see, let me come in and challenge you here. Because, I mean, the things like there's going to be that if you haven't watched it yet, what are going to be revealed as far as the secrets are secrets that I feel like a lot of families have, but it's this whole idea of a protection. Now, it isn't to say that, the intentions were to be negative, right, but it's like the results. And while we do come together as families, I'm not sure if we have the kind of conversations that we need. And because we aren't used to having an exercise in that conversation, a lot of things can be misinterpreted. And therefore, which I feel often was happening in this show, is that a lot of people are held to unimaginable standards.
Yeah, they're held to unimaginable responsibility, standards, and going off of what another character or somebody else, another individual expects from them. And that's what's going on today. Not just in families, but just in general. A lot of people sometimes they don't walk in their own purpose. They're walking in somebody else's purpose. They're looking at, Joe Blow over here or this young lady or this young man over here, and they saying, okay, since they're telling me to be a certain way, this is the way I'm a be. A lot of people don't identify with themselves yet. And that's a problem, but at the same time, you have people like Dawn Dai, you have people like Tray Chaney. We identify with who we are. And right, we're the ones who are setting the tone for other people to say, it's nothing wrong with being yourself. Just be yourself, Okay, so question. Go ahead.
Who is Kendrick?
Who is
he to his core? Who is this man?
Kendrick is a loving man. Kendrick is a loving man who was dealt a bad hand, but at the same time, still trying to turn his life around, which a lot of brothers in today's society face. He's this loving guy who wants to turn his life around, and he walks in those steps of doing better, even from getting a regular job, because, his background coming from the streets, you only end up dead or locked up, and that's just the reality of it. And one of those came true in season 2 when he was locked up. So it's, now being out and saying, okay, I'm ready to turn my life around. If I want to change, if I want things to change around me, I have to change. Because at the end of the day, it starts with Kendrick. He has to change, and that's who he is. He's on that fine line. It's a narrow path on. I have to change regardless of my circumstances, my past. I know I was dealt this deck of cards, but you know what? I'm getting ready to flip this whole thing, and I'm getting ready to get serious about my girl. And I'm getting ready to get serious about my baby that's on the way, and I'm going to pull through. But
now see, when you say the but, you just negated everything that you just said.
Because without giving it away, unfortunately, things just come up.
But it's life.
It's life.
It's whatever the weather.
Exactly. It's life. Things come up. You never know what direction this person is going, that person is going. And then, but you know what? You know what's so funny, Dawn? Things come up to sometimes throw us off course. And God he wants to see how we deal with it. Like anything could have happened 2 days ago with that accident. I mean, it puts you in a slump, but at the same time, it's like, okay, it happened. I felt every emotion. I feel it all over my body. But at the same time, I know I'm coming on here today to be a light, to shine light with you, to inspire people. So whatever happens, and I keep relating this back to Kendrick because Saints and Sinners season 5, best season, Yeah, best season out of all of them. I mean, that's just what it is. You know, every
AKA, you better check it out on Bounce TV. Hello, Saints and Sinners.
Shout out to Bounce. Shout out to Swirl Films, who
9/8 Central Sundays.
Most definitely, check it out every Sunday. We back on TV every week. We about to run television, so it's all love.
But no, it's interesting. You know, one of the things, I study improv at the Groundlings, and a lot of the things that you're saying right now, I think, is what I got from improv, and it's the whole yes and. And it's just like one thing that you've consistently said is that despite anything and everything that can be happening, even just a couple days ago, you got into this accident. And there's a thing in life, you got to keep moving forward, because until you've arrived, until your end date, you got to keep moving. And it's like, in order to do that, which I feel like will encompass no matter whatever situation it is, it's the same thing as saying of knowing who you are and staying true to you. Yeah. And that's why I said, well, who is Kendrick? You know, and my next question is going to be, who is Tray?
Well, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Tray Chaney is a father. Tray Chaney is a husband. Tray Chaney is a grandfather. And Tray Chaney's contribution is love, peace, and happiness, motivation, and inspiration to every single person I come in contact with. It doesn't matter if I have a personal relationship with the person. It doesn't matter if the person is what we consider like an enemy or somebody that really don't get down with, you know, how positive I am. But that's who Tray Chaney is. I'm an inspirational, motivational brother that's out here trying to uplift our people as much.
Hold on, gotta wait. Let me come in just a minute real quick. You know, I have life tattooed in my mouth, so I'm very keen on my words. Tray, we don't try. We don't try. You want to see it?
Let me see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we can't try to do something.
You know what? And
we either do it or we don't, Tray.
We pushing. And you know what? It's 4 words. And I think I was caught in a moment just now when I used try, but I don't use try, bad, can't, or need. Those are 4 words that I don't use. It's try.
Maybe even have to. You get to.
It's try, bad, can't, or need, because everything is about us doing. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it. I don't need anything because I have everything already.
Come on. You've already equipped. You are on full. What?
And nothing is bad. Everything is good as long as we're above ground. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of people that didn't wake up today. They're not going to get a chance to see this. There's a lot of people that didn't wake up today. And then, like I said, try, bad, can't, or need. Can't is another word that I never use because I'm going to make it happen. If it doesn't happen right there or in that moment, it's going to happen. It's not like I can't do anything. I could do anything. I can do everything.
Anything you truly want. But why don't people realize that? What do you think gets in the way of why some people are successful, why some people aren't, why some people just simply do and why some people don't?
Well, you know, it comes from, for me, I'm somebody that always did. So, you know, and even at a young age, but I think for some people, a lot of people are not fortunate enough to have a lot of motivation and inspiration around them. That could be one thing. Another thing is self-doubt and self-hate. Like I said, dealing with whatever the circumstances that they might have ever went through, they always look back on the past. And I used to be somebody that did that years ago, you know, but you can't let certain things that happen to you dictate where you're going or where you're heading or your future. You know, so a lot of people don't take that time to get to know self. They don't, like I said, they're following somebody else's lead, you know, and they don't really take the time to really get to know who they truly are and how they can, you know, elevate, you know what I'm saying, and make things happen, not just for themselves, but for other people. Because this is what all of this is about for me. Like I said, my contribution is love, peace, happiness to other people. I'm already set. God got me good. I'm already straight. Now, and I truly believe that. But if I'm able to go and I'm able to, you know, really inspire somebody who may feel like what we're speaking about, they may have self-doubt. They may hate themselves for stuff that they did in the past. You know, that's what it's about. So, you know, it's almost like being a mentor to those type of people, is being somebody who, like I said, not necessarily having to have a relationship all the way with them, but at the same time, letting them know this is the path that you should be on. This is how you should walk. This is how you should do it.
Well, yeah. And I think it's just dedicating to just being true to self, like you said.
Fact.
And that goes along, like what I talk about, one of the main things on the Vitamin D podcast. And I end every episode with this.
Okay.
And it's always reminding people how you are your greatest asset.
Wow.
Because everything in life becomes an extension of who you are. And while it's so easy for us to understand finances, right? You know what you put in, what you take out, what you got left.
Wow.
The same as life. If you value yourself that much, everything an extension of you will either prosper or won't. And it's based on you having that balance, because what are you putting in and what are you taking out? And here's the thing. An unused account is just as bad as important as an unused account or a dead person.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So things are constantly going in and out. It's just about where does the balance come in? But I think oftentimes if we find ourselves in one spectrum leaning on the other, we just forgot to check the balance.
Wow. Yeah, that's real. That's definitely an amazing point. Yeah, we just forgot to check in. We forgot to check the balance, and we forgot to check in with self to understand where we could possibly go and where we're headed. I feel you on that.
So let me ask you this. So with Kendrick, do you feel this with all his backstory, all of his baggage, some baggage in which we need to let go? Does he know where he's going? Does he, what's up? Does he know what's up?
He know where he's going.
Because it's like part of me, I'm like, oh, but I'm like, you just need to get popped a couple times.
But just think though, Dawn, you just seen the first episode of 5. So you gonna see a lot from Kendrick. You gonna say at the end of this, when we come back and we talk again and we do another, great conversation like we had, because this ain't no interview. This is brother and sister, king and queen chopping it up, just having fun. And but when you see this season, I'm telling you, you're going to understand Kendrick's journey and where he's going.
Am I gonna like him?
You're gonna love him. You ain't just gonna like him, you're gonna love him. The whole world gonna love him.
Now, are you saying that because you Tray and you playing Kendrick, or for real?
Oh no, I'm saying it for real, because I didn't like him. I didn't like him for real in season 2 and season 3 and some of the stuff.
Because I'm like, listen.
Some of the stuff that he was doing, I had to portray that. But this season, like I said, he's more level-headed. That's for sure.
Okay.
And he wasn't level-headed in all the other seasons. He's more level-headed. He got a baby on the way.
He got a whole... Y'all, he got a... Listen, just... Okay, let me stop. Because they need to okay, the baby's on the way. Yeah. That's crazy. And it's like, here's the thing, because you can tell at his core, and I think that's all of us, at our core, what our values are and what our intentions are. But it's something about these circumstances. And if we're in a situation that we cannot see beyond, and I think that's why the whole notion and the importance of having the vision. They didn't say, like, can you see? Because listen, what I see is right in front of me, but the vision is so much greater. And it's like, Kendrick, please don't forget the vision. And that's why I tell people all the time, like, don't forget the vision. Because that's when you realize that your location is not your destination.
Oh.
You know what?
And
I make myself what I am.
That's real. Don't forget the vision. And like you said, don't look at your location as the final destination. I understand that, because like I said, that goes back to a lot of your current situation. Like whatever you're currently going through right now, this doesn't dictate what might happen tomorrow. Your life could change tomorrow. I ain't even talking about in a month or a year. We talking about, what if tomorrow is the life-changing day for the positive, for the better, for you?
It's always positive, right? Because as long as you ain't staying the same.
As long as you ain't staying the same, as long as you evolving, as long as you creating, and creating the circumstances that we got going on now. Come on, Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. I mean, you whatever you did, whatever you created to lead up to this point, you did it. Whatever I did to lead up to being a 5-season regular on Bounce TV St. Center, I did it. Whatever.
And wait, did you move down to Atlanta because of this show? Or were you taking a chance when you went? Because that was,
Yeah.
Listen, I lost somebody that liked to jump. And, just checking out the social media, you said something like, this is amazing that now I can bring my family down to Atlanta, and how it started out as a dream. Like,
oh my God.
I don't know if people realize that if you dream up high, you got to take flight.
Growing up in Washington, D.C., Forestville, Maryland. My wife, the same, growing up in D.C. I was content with staying there and traveling to L.A., to New York, to Atlanta. When Saints and Sinners decided that Kendrick was going to be a character in first season, they flew me out. They put me up. I was put up for 2 to 3 months at a nice place while I was filming. Then after we would wrap, I would go back home to D.C., where a lot wasn't really happening too much in our field, you know, in entertainment. It's more politics. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I have to give the credit to my queen, my wife, Aisha, because what happened was
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
I didn't want to get content with saying, okay, I'm getting ready to leave for another 4 months, for second season, for third season, for fourth season, and come back to DC. That means I'm leaving my family for certain months at a time. Yeah, they flying back and forth. But it was my wife sit me down, and this was around the second, third season. She said, so what are we doing? You're content with staying here? Because my whole family's in DC. My mom, my dad, my sister, aunts, uncles. I got a real big family, the Cheneys. So, and you know, sometimes it's men. We think we got it all figured out. And then that woman, that queen, that feminine energy, she could say something and then you realize, wow. So I am content with staying here. She said, I see the potential in you. I've been married to you going on 17 years. I know when you get around people, I know when you get in casting, directing meetings, and I know how you are. I have so much confidence and potential in you. We need to jump. And that's how it happened. 2017, July, we moved to Atlanta. When we moved, it was I tell people, I'm not afraid of anything. I don't fear anything. That was the first time I ever felt fear driving in a U-Haul 10 hours from DC to Atlanta. First time. I wanted to turn around and go back home.
And was it the best or the worst decision?
It was the best decision that we ever made. Just bought a new house 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
From the ground up, homeowners, you know what I'm saying? Watched it be built, hustled through the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? So now, the decisions, the steps that we took from 2017 in July when we moved here, all the way up until today, April of 2021, it was well worth it. Me even having this conversation with you about the jump. And now I'm sitting in the crib and I'm like, 3 months ago during the pandemic.
Not just a crib, your crib.
Oh yeah, my crib, my wife's crib, my son, to be able to show my 14-year-old son, you know, me and your mother jumped out there. We worked hard. You know, you know what? We worked smart. I'll say that.
As a culture, we can say we've been working hard all our life.
Facts, and we have. But when you work smart and when when you're committed to achieving a certain goal that is reachable, you know how everything goes with the home ownership. They take you through a whole bunch. You know, they take you through a whole bunch of stuff and you don't even be understanding what they taking you through. You like, they want to see bank statements. They want to see this. They want to see that. They want to know where that deposit came. We had to go through a lot with the process. But when we sat at that closing table and we signed them papers and we got them keys, this was well worth it. And
I think that's what a lot of people, you just got to make the decision. Like people oftentimes like, well, how do you become successful? How do you take a chance on your dreams? Well, you got to make a decision to say that you're worth it. Exactly. And I think that's why you have to know who you are, knowing what you stand for and what you don't. And you only know that by experience. You only know that by allowing yourself to be flexible. You only know that to say that, dang it, I'm worth it. Because the way my account's set up, I'm the most valuable thing in it.
Whoa.
So what you saying you're not worth your dreams? You're not worth whatever peace you have? Wow. You're not worth abundance?
Exactly.
What do you want?
Go get it. Go get it.
Go!
Go. Run to it.
So then I got to ask, what does Kendrick want in Saints and Sinners? What does he want? Kendrick wants
to have a happy family atmosphere with his lady and his new baby on the way. Kendrick. But
how is it? Isn't it interesting? How is he going to be able to get a family together? And his whole backstory, his family's been jacked up.
Well, again, that doesn't dictate Kendrick.
Come on, you better spit it back out.
His circumstances, wherever he comes from, his background, that's like when you hear people say, I don't have no millionaires in my family. But guess what? I'm going to become the millionaire in my family.
Come on.
You know, so...
My nephew, LJ, he said he's going to be a millionaire. I sent him the video of the Forbes. I said, you need to know who the top 5 people are. I said, and you need to know who the top black female and male are. Because you got to know what you want to be.
Wow. Amazing.
You got to open your mindset. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you good. But that dictating where he's at now to where he's going and what he wants to be. And you know what? He wants peace. Because you know, the turmoil and everything that he's been through, his baggage, his background, he definitely wants peace and happiness. And he wants to be accepted. He wants to be accepted by his parents. You know, his sister loved him. Jasmine Burke, who plays Dr. Christy John, she loved him. But grandmother can't stand him.
Well, she clearly, because she got so much stuff. She got so much stuff in her closet. I'm surprised nobody has smelled anything just yet. Because there's more than skeletons in there.
But you're going to see some skeletons this season. You're going to see some stuff come out that closet. It's going to shock you. You're going to call me and be like, Kendrick or Tray.
My mouth was dropped once the episode ended. I was just like...
That was it. That was it. The whole thing.
And you know what I like what you said too, because and I think it's in life too, and that's why you cannot allow somebody's perspective, their viewpoint to dictate who you are. Because even in myself, and I think it happens, and we all forget that we're all human. I came on this podcast and I'm like, yo, a part of me, you know, wants to love Kendrick, and I think everything is possible for the future. Then fast forward 20, 30 minutes later now, I'm up here telling you like, oh, well, if he hasn't had it, how is he going to acquire it?
Yeah.
And I think, I just hope that people show grace. And it's so interesting, even the title of this project, Saints and Sinners, the bridge is grace.
Wow.
And I think we forget that it's the grace that strings them together because they're always connected.
That's a fact.
Don't think you're not going to get one without the other. And I just hope that's a reminder for somebody else, whoever has it, whoever doesn't, whatever happened to you, you still got the pen to write your life.
Of course. You still got the pen to write your life. You still, and it's no age limit. It's no age limit on when, and it's nothing wrong with starting over. You could start over every single day. We do start over every day. You know, when we get rest, we get up and we got to start all the way over. And happiness is, you know, happiness is not something that always comes. Happiness, joy, it's not something that always comes when we wake up. We got to fight for that. You know, so I put up a post the other day. I said, anybody that is in the bed this morning is fighting with not waking up, but you woke up anyway. You showered, you brushed your teeth, you put your clothes on, you made your bed, and then you went out there to provide for your family, male or female. I commend you, because that's half the battle. You know, a lot of people don't even want to get up out of bed.
Don't even want to get up. And it's, you know, and I want to say on one part it's unfortunate, but it's just the whole idea of it's just life. And it's just about knowing that sometimes the get down is for the get up. Because it just makes it that much sweeter, you know? Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing, as you said, why you have to savor the journey. You got to understand why the up is up. Because sometimes I think we're just functioning. I think that's the difference. You know, when people are just functioning in life, you know, you don't have anything to lose, nor do you feel like you have anything to gain. So what are you moving towards?
Yeah, and moving.
Yeah, what are you going towards?
Exactly.
But see, if you've been in a situation, been down and had a taste of up, you know how sweet or how that other side looks. And then now, rather than being mad on society, being mad on what could have genetically been in your system and your body, you have the decision. You make the decision of what you want and how you want to create the narrative.
Exactly.
So what's the rest of the narrative for you? What's coming up for Mr. Tray Chaney? What do we need to know?
Well, Secret Society, I'm in a film called Secret Society that just dropped on Amazon Prime. And Miasha Coleman wrote it. She's a brilliant writer. Rich Coleman is the executive producer, and Jamal Hill, who I work with in Streets, is the director. Vivica Fox is in it. Erica Pinkett is in it. Raina Love is in it. Jeremy Meeks. And this Yeah, Jeremy's in it. That's the homie. and look at you.
God came through with that mugshot, yeah.
In this film,
hey, he works in mysterious ways. Okay, I'm done.
This film is totally different. I had to step out of my comfort zone as an actor to level up as far as an actor and really challenge myself again. But the rave reviews from the movie dropping not even a week ago, like April 2nd, it dropped April 2nd. We charted at number 87. Then we charted at number 30, and today we're number 20. So this thing is headed to number 1. You know, so just to be a part of some independent Black-owned production company, our own soundtrack, you know, like we didn't go to majors for anything, and we're showing the majors. Look at what a self-funded Black-owned production company, Nyasha Coleman, Rich Coleman, look at what they did without anybody, and now we're charting. You know, so when you start charting and, you know, these majors start looking at you, and then you got Vivica Fox, like I said, Jeremy Meeks, Raina Love, Erica Pinkett, Tray Chaney. You know, this is getting heavy, you know, and then I have Truthless, which is my directorial debut on Amazon Prime right now. It's a short film, and I got inspired by New Jack City. I got inspired by Nino Brown. I got inspired by Boys in the Hood. And I said, you know what? In this 20 minutes, I just want to create this balance, and I want to act crazy through the whole film. And I'm going to be gangster. I'm going to go hard because I wanted to just create a balance, and I wanted to do it. And I did it, and it's on Prime right now, doing very well. And I was just happy to direct it and star it. And I said, you know what?
Awesome.
This is what it is.
Yes, I love that. Well, I want to definitely keep pushing all that great energy your way to keep succeeding, to keep pushing, to keep doing all that. That is amazing. And I guess for those who've been listening and watching, who've had a chance to absorb some of your amazing energy and as well as your story, could you leave us with a dose of vitamin D? Words of inspiration, or maybe a quote, a thought, a word, anything, something to inspire someone.
Well, something to inspire someone from Tray Chaney when we're on here with my sister, Dawn Dai, is never give up. Never give up. This business and just in life in general is going to throw you curveballs. You know, it's going to throw you certain things that you got to jump over, but never giving up and understanding that putting God first is the key. And then just, if you have a dream, a lot of times it's great to detach yourself from the dream and throw it out into the universe so the universe can work its magic and everything can come back to you full circle. So that's my message, you know, on vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? With Dawn Dai, you know?
Yes, I love that. Now, after everybody's heard amazingly what you said, where can we keep up with you? How do we follow you on social media?
Well, Instagram is Dedicated Father Series page. Don't tell me why it's so long, but Mr. Tray Chaney, my verified page, got hacked. So I had my backup page, Dedicated Father Series page, all positivity. All you're going to get is great energy on there. On Twitter, it's @Tray Chaney, and the correct spelling, TrayChaney. And then Facebook, Tray Poop Chaney, because poop is sort of like a paying homage to The Wire. You know, that's how people recognized who I was from the beginning. So Tray Poop Chaney on The Wire, and I'm approachable. You know what I'm saying? My fans, my supporters, they always hit me up on all these social media platforms. I'm always responding back. Every day is going to be a great word shared, you know, because it's a lot of people that follow and they watch and they want to be inspired. And I just feel like I said, that's my purpose. I'm here to motivate and inspire and encourage as much as I can.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. I know. That right there, that's Tray Chaney. Inspiration, motivational. I mean, a brother that is truly walking in dominion, and then also is a star of the hit show, Saints and Sinners, on Bounce TV, Sunday nights, 9 to 8 Central. Make sure you check it out. And remember the key nuggets here. Remember how important it is to take the jump. Remember how important it is just to keep moving forward and understanding that every day above ground is a blessing. So, are you ready to be blessed? Are you ready to move into the life of your dreams? Because I'm telling you, you're worthy and you're going to have to take a chance. And just like Tray said, you got to get out there and put yourself out there. Understand that everything is a slow build. So whether it's his situation that he gets in a car accident as he is on his promo run for season 5 of his show, what was your hit? What was your get down that dictated your get up? You know, as Les Brown says, if you can lick up, you can get up. So what do you see? Did you cut on the lights? Welcome to Vitamin D. I want you to remember this. If you are fearful or having some hesitation of anything in your life, understand that fear is not meant for you to run away, but it's something that's meant for you to run towards. If the blessing is in the journey, the question becomes, what are you willing to discover? Hey, now listen, if you enjoyed Tray Chaney just as much as I did, make sure you follow him on social media, on Instagram at Dedicated Father Series page. Show him some love. The brother's full of inspiration and motivation if you didn't catch enough on the conversation already, all right? And if you want some more vitamin D in the meantime, make sure you follow me at Dawn Dai Speaks on all social media. And also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you'd like to submit your own advice letter for me to give some of my response to, make sure you email me, VitaminD at DawnDaiSpeaks.com, okay? All right, well, it's time to get out of here. And until next time, I want you to always remember, you are your greatest asset.